Okay, in this video here, this is the question here, and we're being asked what is the mean term birth weight of Tongan babies. Now we know we're dealing with normal distribution because we can see that along here. So, and we're looking for the mean term birth weight, so we're looking for the mean. So straight away we've got to start thinking, well, I haven't been given the mean, so therefore I've got to use the inverse function on the calculator, and I'm also going to have to use the z formula, which is z equals x minus the mean over the standard deviation. So this is one of these questions where you're going to need to use a bit of algebra. Okay, so first of all, if we draw a little graph of kind of what we're looking at here, there's a normal distribution graph. It's known that 37% of all term weigh more than 4 kilograms. Okay, now I'm going to say that's 4,000 because that's 4,000 grams, and the reason why I'm saying that is that we're dealing with a standard deviation of 625. So remember, you've got to keep your units the same. And what I'm doing is I'm essentially looking at this area in here. Okay, that's the information I've got. I've been told that that is 37% or 0.37. And so we need to use our calculator. First of all, we need to normalize our mean and our standard deviation. So we've got the same graph, but this time with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation equal to 1. And by doing this in the inverse section of your calculator under normal distribution, you will end up with a z-score. And I'll show you what I mean on the actual calculator. On our calculator here, we see we're on the run screen, so I'm going to move across to the stats screen and choose distribution, normal, and I'm going to go into inverse normal. Now looking at our diagram over on the screen here, we're dealing with a right tail. So for those people with a newer calculator where you can select which tail, we need to make sure it's a right tail. And we put in an area, because we know that that's 37%, we're going to put an area of 0.37. Now, if you were using an older calculator which doesn't let you choose which tail, you'll have to imagine that you're dealing with something coming from the left, and so that would be 0.63 because that adds up to 1. Our standard deviation equals 1 and our mean equals 0. We press the execute key and we end up with, it says x, but that's actually our z-score, and so that's 0.331. Okay, so we can then go back to our working, and we can say here that z is equal to 0.332 if we round it up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this to work out what our mean is as part of this formula. So what we do is we go 0.332 equals x, which is 4,000, minus the mean all over the standard deviation, which we know is 625. At this point here, to get rid of the 625, because remember we're trying to find the mean here, we have to multiply both sides by 625. Now, you don't physically have to, on your calculator, multiply this by 625. Multiplying this side by 625 cancels out the denominator and leaves you just with the top of the fraction. But we still need to multiply this particular number here by 625. So we go back to our graphics calculator and we go 0.332 times 625. And we get the answer 207.5. So then I come back to my screen here, 207.5, so that's 0.332 times 625 equals 4,000 minus the mean. Now we need to get our 4,000 over onto the side of the equation, so that means minus 4,000 from that side, minus 4,000 from that side. Again, we go back to our calculator and we go, we've got the 207.5, so I'm just going to go minus 4,000 and we get 3,792.50. So 3,792.50, that equals, and that's negative, minus the mean. Now because we've got negative the mean, we just want the mean. Okay, so if we change this, we're basically dividing through by -1, but if we change this sign here, we have to change this sign over here. So that becomes 3792.5. And that is the mean term birth weight of Tongan babies born in New Zealand. And that's your answer. And if you can get all these steps, you get a T for this. Just letting you know the grades. Finding your Z score is worth a U. I know that. Yep. And then this is obviously worth your T here, if you can get down this far. That's it.